What's going on today? This is David again, coming to make y'all another video. Um, this video I'm going to do is called the refreshing. What was talked about from the beginning, Adam's time in the garden, the Lord's promise to him to bring him back into the garden after his time was up. This is spoken about through the prophets and through prophecy, especially in the law. Enoch, Moses spoke about it. Peter, he knows about it. All the men of the Lord know about the refreshing. Okay, that's when this earth passes away and the new earth comes. It's already been ordained to be this way. This is just this, like I said, the life that you're living in this time frame is a test. It's a test if you're going to keep the Lord's commands and do what he says do, if you're an Israelite or a Gentile. Period. Only the sanctified are going to get the true doctrine to learn these mysteries. No one else. And if someone else does hear them, they're either going to scoff or mock it. They're not going to make it. It's a select group of people who are going to get to the kingdom. I'm going to keep saying that. I can prove it over and over and over again. Sanctified Gentiles, the 1/3, the elect. That's it. Everyone else is either going to be there serving, they're going to yield in the war. I should have did the video about the war. I'll do that soon. That's pretty long. But this is basically has to do with after the war, when the Lord fights with the elect and his army, and what's going to take place. And for those who are good, things will be okay. But for the rest of the people, it's not going to be good for them. So making a lot. That's why all the men of the Lord, especially like King Solomon, vanity is vanity, all is vanity, because he knew that you were going to fall. He knew the Israelites were going to fall, that we were going to be hid. Moses knew it. The Lord gave him secret counsel. Isaiah, they all knew that the conditions we are in today would be taking place because what the Lord taught in the beginning. Prophecies, the word. And you're living in a heat of prophecy now. Israelites are waking up. You're seeing the fig tree. The serpent is giving out that roebuck. And so, it's never going to stop. It's going to be an ongoing thing. It's going to flood the world, and pretty soon, if you basically got to take the roebuck to take your mask off and be a normal person. It's done. It's over. It's just the foundation is being set here. So the refreshing is what the righteous, the sanctified are looking forward to, the new heaven and new earth. Let's give all praise first and foremost, give all praise to Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and all praise to the lost sheep of the house of Israel and mankind who fears God. Let's get into it, man, the refreshing. You got to really pay attention to what the men of the Lord are saying, the servants of Israelite stock, what they're saying in their words, and you can catch things, but it has to do with your own knowledge if you're seeking the truth. All right, let's get it. Isaiah chapter 28, verses 12. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith you may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear. Right? Are people, the Israelites don't want to hear the truth. You want to make and establish yourself here. This is the consolation. This is not worth trying to obtain or conquer, because it's going to be destroyed. It's all going to be removed. Live your life here, do what you're doing, but your heart should not be set on the things in this place. Shouldn't focus on. You should be focusing on, if you're fortunate you got a family, or that, studying this word should be your focus here. Knowing what you need to do. Because we're in a very tippy top time of prophecy. Serious prophecy is about to start kicking off here. Let's get it. Let's go to the law. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 12, verses 20 through 28. When the Lord thy God shall enlarge thy border, as he hath promised thee, and thou shalt say, I will eat flesh, because thy soul longeth to eat flesh. Thou mayest eat flesh, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after. Right. So why would Moses be saying this when the Israelites are going to be getting the land? And you're going to enlarge your border. When the law says you can only eat certain things. There's a reason. Because you always have to ask yourself why when you're studying the scriptures. Why is he saying this? Because we know in Jerusalem you couldn't eat pork, you couldn't eat unclean meats. So why is he able to say this now? Let's keep reading. If the place which the Lord thy God hath chosen to put his name there be too far from thee, then thou shalt kill of thy herd and of thy flock, which the Lord hath given thee, as I have commanded thee, and thou shalt eat in thy gates whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, right? Which the Lord hath given thee, as I have commanded thee, right? The Lord gives the commands to Moses. Moses is who you need to listen to, as he has commanded you. That's right. You can eat whatever you want. Let's read. Even as the roebuck and the hart is eaten, so thou shalt eat them. The unclean and the clean shall eat of them alike. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Right, so you can't eat the blood, but you can eat whatever you want. Why? Let's read. Thou shalt not eat it, thou shalt pour it upon the earth as water. Thou shalt not eat it, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. When thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. What does the Israelites have to do to get into the land? This is future prophecy. Let's read. Only the holy things which thou hast, and thy vows, and thou shalt take, and go unto the place which the Lord shall choose. And thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, the flesh and the blood, upon the altar of the Lord thy God, and the blood of thy sacrifices shall be poured out upon the altar of the Lord thy God, and thou shalt eat the flesh. Observe and hear all these words which I command thee, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee forever. When thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of the Lord thy God. Right, this is future prophecy, right? Because we know in the days of ancient, they didn't eat the swine. Eleazar, in the letter of Orestes, he basically died for not eating the swine, right? So that's not talking about this time. So Moses knows that the Israelites are going to fall. He knows what's going to happen. This is future prophecy. When you get back into the land, you eat whatever you want. Just don't eat the blood. Let's read. It's because of the refreshing. First book of Adam and Eve, chapter 13, verses 1 through 15. Then when God, who was merciful and full of pity, heard Adam's voice, he said unto him, O Adam, so long as the good angel was obedient to me. That's right. A bright light rested on him and on his host. When he transgressed my commandment, I deprived him of that bright nature, and he became dark. And when he was in the heavens in the realms of light, he knew not of darkness, but he transgressed, and I made him fall from heaven upon the earth. And it was this darkness that came upon him. And on thee, O Adam, while in my garden and obedient to me, did that bright light rest also. Right. When you do what's good, the flaming sword, you do what the Lord is commanding to get rid of the wicked, that's what's good in the sight of the Lord. That's how you get back in. Let's read. When I heard of thy transgression, I deprived thee of that bright light. Yet of my mercy I did not turn thee into darkness, but I made thee thy body of flesh. That's right, because Adam was an angel. Over which I spread this skin, in order that I may bear cold and heat. Right, the real elect are going to change. Okay? Ye are gods. If I had let my wrath fall heavily upon thee, I should have destroyed thee. And had I turned thee into darkness, it would have been as if I had killed thee. Right. If your soul is black, when the Lord looks down on you, you're either white, red, or black. Right. But in mercy I made thee as thou art, when thou didst transgress my commandment, O Adam. I drove thee from the garden, and made thee come forth into this land, and commanded thee to dwell in this cave, and darkness came upon thee, as it did upon him who transgressed my commandment, Satan. Thus, O Adam, has this night deceived thee. It is not to last forever, but is only of 12 hours. When it is over, daylight will return. Sigh not, therefore, neither be moved, and say not in thy heart that this darkness is long, and drags on wearily. And say not in thy heart that I plague thee with it. Right. All this is being done, this darkness while you're in the cave is being done to show the righteousness of the power of the Lord. It's happening. Strengthen thy heart and be not afraid. This darkness is not a punishment, but, O Adam, I have made the day, and I placed the sun in it to give light, in order that thou and thy children should do your work. For I knew thou shouldest sin and transgress and come out into this land. Right. They all know the Israelites are going to sin. Just like Adam sinned. They got kicked out of the garden. You're the same. Yet would I not force thee, nor be heard upon thee, nor shut up, nor doom thee through thy fall, nor through thy coming out from light into darkness, nor yet through thy coining from the garden into this land. For I made thee of the light, and I will to bring out children of light from thee, and like unto thee. But thou didst not keep one day my commandment until I had finished the creation and blessed everything in it. Right. The refreshing. Because the intention before Adam sinned was that the whole earth would be blessed. Everything was blessed. They had the Lord's blessing. So you could eat the shrimp. You could eat the crab. You could eat the pork. You could eat whatever you wanted to. But Adam sinned. The ordinance shifts. He gave you laws now. Because Adam is like the experiment. Adam's life is connected to Israel. He gave you laws. You got to keep them until the refreshing. You got to seek the truth. Let's read. The Gospel of Thomas. Yahushua said to them, if you fast, you will give rise to sin for yourselves. And if you pray, you will be condemned. And if you give alms, you will do harm to your spirits. When you go into any land and walk about in the districts, if they receive you, that's right, he's talking, who is he talking to? The disciples, the 12, the elect. Eat what they will set before you. They can eat what's set before them, teaching the word. If they accept the elect, they let them into their house. You can eat what they serve you. Let's read. And heal the sick among them, for what goes into your mouth will not defile you. Right. That's what that means. But that which issues from your mouth, it is that which will defile you. Right. The elect, the law of liberty, they have the knowledge. If Moses was dwelling somewhere, let's say India, and a family of Shem, let's say Indian family who was dealing with another religion, heard Moses preaching, or Paul, or Peter, or one of the elect, and they let them into the home to hear the word of God and to accept them, if they served Moses pork chops, Moses could eat because you're not trying to offend them. He has a knowledge. The Lord is blessing that pilgrimage for him. He won't be defiled. Now, any old regular person who's claiming to be an Israelite but doesn't have the knowledge, who's not under the law of liberty, or these people who are in churches, no, you cannot eat the pork. You're not you're not under the law of liberty. Moses would be, Peter would be, Paul would be, because they don't want to offend people. They want to call people in because these people might be they could be from the Father. He's the door. So the Lord said, what he's eating is not defiling him. Let's read 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 15 through 33. It all goes together. I speak as to wise men men who have the knowledge. Judge ye what I say, right, because they are the judges. The wise men can judge another brother who is wise also, because they're going to understand what Paul is saying. The cup of blessing which we bless, is it not the communion of the blood of Hamashiach? The bread which we break is not the communion of the body of Hamashiach? Right. Savory bread and blood. That's right. Book of Adam and Eve, the fig. It had a taste of savory bread and blood. That's what we break. Let's read. For we being many are one bread and one body, for we are all partakers of that one bread. That's right. Behold Israel after the flesh. Are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? That's right. Savory bread and blood. You're a partaker of the altar. Not everyone. Let's read. What say I then, that the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifices to idols is anything? That's right. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils. Right. So on Sundays, you're dealing with a Gentile God, that J character with the long hair and the robe that tells you everything is okay. It's a Gentile God, devil, and not to Yahweh. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. That's right. You Israelites, the wise men, we don't have fellowship with devils. Those Gentiles who are sanctified, we don't deal with that. We deal with the truth of the scriptures. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. Right. You can't be talking about you an Israelite and you with your Lord in the heavens, but you saying rest in peace to a gangster rapper. A lot of you Israelites are off with that. That is a respect of persons. The Lord hates rappers. But you're not eating of the bread, so you don't know that. It's crazy what I'm seeing in the Israelite community right now. It's nuts. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. That's right. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. That's right. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. Right. You don't want to seek your own. You're doing this to give riches to others. The money. This is not for my glory. I'm doing this, teaching you this to give you the money. Doesn't cost a thing. Come ye to the waters and buy. Without money, without price. That's right, but we're giving you the money. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that eat, asking no question for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. Right, the fullness of the refreshing. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, right, there's someone who does not believe and they're bidding you to a feast, and ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake. Right. Paul knows about the refreshing. He knows what it means for him. He might change someone's mind. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that showed it, and for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. Right. So that guy puts a pork chop in front of you. Hey, come to my home, have a meal. We like what you guys are saying, but we worship this God here. You can go to their home and eat whatever they serve you. But if he offers you a plate of blood, right, or he says, you know, these pork chops I'm going to give you, we just sacrifice to our God. This is part of our custom. You don't eat that because it's been worshipped to an idol. Let's read. Conscience, I say, not thine own, but of the other. For why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? That's right. Because you're trying to be mindful of the person that you're going to eat with. Why is his liberty? He's under the law of liberty. Let's read. And he's an apostle. For if I by grace be a partaker, that's right. Why am I evil spoken of for that for which I give thanks? Right. You would say that Paul was evil because he ate pork with a Gentile, not knowing the work of the Lord. Let's read. Whether therefore ye eat or drink, whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of Yahweh. That's right. Eat and drink. Whatever ye do, do it all for the glory. The word. Give none offense, neither to the Jews, nor to the Gentiles, nor to the church of God. Right? Don't give people offense. We're not to offend people. Right? You're going to teach the word, but you're not going to offend. Making people kiss your boots. It's foolishness. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. Anyone scorning this truth is an abomination to the wise. Let's read. Even as I please all men in all things, not seeking mine own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved. Right? He invited you that home because the Father put it on him to listen to you so he could possibly be saved. It's always a test with the Lord. Just because a Gentile invited you home, that's to test to the Gentile. He gave you the opportunity. What are you going to do now? You're going to listen to Paul and still go back to idols? That was your opportunity. Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, verses 8 through 9. We shouldn't be trying to offend people. We got to teach the truth. There are words in this book that are offensive, that will offend some people because of the ordinance of the Father and the Lord. What was ordained from the beginning has not been taught on the earth. So when these things are brought up, it's going to offend people. But you're not supposed to be going out calling people, all sorts of names and acting like a fool. No. But if I tell you beasts of the field or I tell you certain things, that's the truth. That's different. Let's read. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 8 through 9. If thou seest the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The profit of the earth is the refreshing. It is for the all, because he was going to bless all things. Read. The king himself is served by the field. That's right, because the beasts of the field, the Gentiles, are going to serve the king. That was the ordinance of man. Man was supposed to have dominion in righteousness. The Gentiles, the other beasts of the field, were to serve Adam. That's right. The profit of the earth. We're not in a profitable time in the earth. It's declining. It's death. Let's read 2 Ezra chapter 11, verses 36 through 46. That's right. Then I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle, and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with much fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. The fourth beast, America, EU, the dragon, deceit, vanity, lies. It's all nonsense. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit. Right? A lot of you Israelites, a lot of us they're gonna destroy our dwellings. You're gonna be kicked out of your houses. And has cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. That's right. They came over here, took advantage of the Indians, went to Africa, took the Israelites. The dragon goes all over, destroying everything. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. That's right. That's why all these judgments are happening out here. The highest also has looked upon the proud times, your proud times when you were in abundance, America, Babylon. Now he's going to get you. And behold, they are ended. That's right. And his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body. Everything they're bringing to you is just vanity. It's all from Satan. It's weakness. That all the earth may be refreshed. Once they're destroyed, the earth's going to break out into cheering, and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. That's right. Once this dragon, the beast, is gone, the whole earth is going to break into singing. Let's read. Enoch chapter 10. Then said the Most High, the Holy and Great One spake, and sent Uriel the son of Lamech to the son of Lamech, and said to him, Go to Noah, and tell him in my name, hide thyself, and reveal to him the end that is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and a deluge is about to come upon the whole earth, and will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world. And again the Lord said to Raphael, Bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert which is Dudel, and cast him therein, and place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment he shall be cast into the fire. And heal the earth which the angels have corrupted, the fallen angels, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, that all the children of men may not perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons. Right? All technology, weapons, drugs, all these things that were taught by the spirit of Satan. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. And to Gabriel said the Lord, Proceed against the bastards and the reprobates and the children, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication and the children of the watchers from amongst men, and cause them to go forth. Send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. That's what's happening now. They got the little race thing going on now. Reprobates, scorners of the Lord, you're going to be judged. For length of days they shall not have, and no request that they, their fathers, make of thee shall be granted unto their fathers on their behalf. For they hope to live in eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And the Lord said unto Michael, Go bind Samajah, his associates who have united himself with women, so as to defile themselves with them in all their uncleanness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, till the day of their judgment and of their consummation, till the judgment that is forever and ever is consummated. In those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire, and to the torment, and to the prison, in the which they shall be confined forever. And whosoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of all generations. And destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end, and let the plan of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall prove a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore. And then shall all the righteous escape, and shall live till they beget thousands of children. And all the days of their youth and their old age they shall complete in peace. And then shall the whole earth be tilled in righteousness, and shall be planted with trees, and be full of blessing. And all desirable trees shall be planted on it, and they shall plant vines on it. And the vine which they plant thereon shall yield wine in abundance. And as for all the seed which is sown thereon, each measure of it shall bear 1,000. And each measure of olive shall yield 10 presses of oil. And cleanse thou the earth from all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all godlessness. And all the uncleanness that is wrought upon the earth, destroy from off the earth. And all the children of men shall become righteous, and all the nations shall offer adoration, and shall praise me, and shall worship me. And the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, and from all sin, and from all punishment, and from all torment. And I will never again send them upon it from generation to generation, and forever. Chapter 11. And in those days I will open the store chambers of blessing which are in the heaven, so as to send them down upon the earth over the work and labor of the children of men. And truth and peace shall be associated together throughout all the days of the world, and throughout all the generations of men. Second Baruch, Apocalypse of Baruch, chapter 70 through 74. Hear therefore the interpretation of the last black waters which are to come after the black. This is the word. Behold, the days come, and it shall be when the time of the age is ripened, and the harvest of its evil and good seeds is come, that the mighty one will bring upon the earth and its inhabitants, upon its rulers, perturbation of spirit and stupor of heart. And they shall hate one another, that's right, and provoke one another to fight. And the mean shall rule over the honorable, and those of low degree shall be extolled above the famous. That's right, these preppers, all these people, it's going to change here. They're going to have the power. They're not going to have any power because they weren't ready. And the many shall be delivered into the hands of the few, and those who were nothing shall rule over the strong. And the poor shall have abundance above beyond the rich. Right, your Bentley's not going to matter when there's a famine. The poor man who stored food, he's going to be rich. He's going to have weaponry. And the impious shall exalt themselves above the heroic, and the wise shall be silent, and the foolish shall speak. Right, they're all fools anyway. Neither shall the thought of men be then confirmed, nor the counsel of the mighty, nor shall the hope of those who hope be confirmed. And when those things which were predicted have come to pass, then shall confusion fall upon all men. And some of them shall fall in the battle. Right, no one's going to know what's going on. It's prophecy. The day of the Lord's coming. And some of them shall perish in anguish. You're going to be in anguish, going to be in famine. You didn't prep. You don't have the things you need necessary to survive. And some of them shall be destroyed by their own. That's right. You didn't take the chip. Your own family sold you out. Then the Most High's peoples, whom he has prepared before, and they shall come and make war with the leaders that shall be then left. Right. The Lord and the elect are going to fight. And it shall come to pass, whoever gets out of the war shall die in the earthquake. And whosoever gets safe out of the earthquake shall be burned by the fire. And whoever gets safe out of the fire shall be destroyed by famine. And it shall come to pass that whoever of the victors and the vanquished gets safe out of all the escapes of all these things aforesaid will be delivered into the hands of my servant Messiah. For all the earth shall devour its inhabitants. And the Holy Land shall have mercy on its own, and it shall protect its inhabitants at that time. This is the vision which you have seen, and this is the interpretation. For I have come to tell you these things, because your prayer has been heard with the Most High. Hear now also regarding the bright lightning which is to come at the consummation after these black waters. This is the word. After the signs have come, of which you were told before, when the nations become turbulent, and the time of my Messiah is come, he shall both summon all the nations, and some of them he shall spare, and some of them he shall slay. These things therefore shall come upon the nations, which are to be spared by him. Every nation which knows not Israel, and has not trodden down the seed of Jacob, you haven't oppressed Jacob, shall indeed be spared. You don't know about the Israelites, and you also haven't oppressed Jacob, you'll live. And this because some out of every nation shall be subjected to your people. The Israelites are going to have servants. But all those who have ruled over you, who've oppressed you, or have known you, there are people on earth who know who the Israelites are, shall be given up to the sword. And it shall come to pass, when he has brought low everything that is in the world, and has sat down in peace for the age of the throne of his kingdom, that joy shall be revealed, and rest shall appear, and the healing shall descend in dew, and disease shall withdraw, and anxiety and anguish and lamentation pass from amongst men, and gladness proceed through the whole earth, and no one shall again die untimely, nor shall any adversity suddenly befall, and judgments, and abusive talk, and contentions, and revenges, and blood, and passions, and envy, and hatred, and whatsoever things are like these shall go into condemnation when they are removed. For it is these very things which have filled the world with evils. And on account of these, the life of man has been greatly troubled. And wild beasts shall come from the forest and minister unto men, and asps and dragons shall come forth from the holes to submit themselves to a little child. And women shall no longer then have pain when they bear, nor shall they suffer torment when they yield the fruit of the womb. And it shall come to pass in those days that the reapers shall not grow weary, nor those that build be toil worn, for the work shall of themselves speedily advance, together with those who do them in much tranquility. So if you work, it's not going to be work. For that time is the consummation of that which is corruptible, and the beginning of that which is not corruptible. Therefore, those things which are predicted shall belong to it, the elect, the righteous, and the holy. Therefore, it is far away from evils and near to those things which die not. This is the bright lightning which came after the last dark waters. That's right. The refreshing, that's going to be part one. And then we're going to go to part two. That's going to be a little bit quicker. Let's give all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And all praise to you, lost sheep of the house of Israel, and mankind who fears God. Look out for part two. Shalom.